forgot I was streaming. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. Yeah, I'm gonna have me in the corner, but the whole program that makes my mouth move doesn't seem to be working right now. So he's just not gonna be talking for a hot minute. That's okay for everyone. As I decide to go on and do some art. You know, actually, okay, never mind. I was about to say, because typically, no matter whether or not someone's in chat, there'll be like one viewer, and I usually tend to think that's like a program, you know, like some kind of like some tool I'm using to stream is counting as someone watching stream. But for a second there, it was straight up 0, and I'm okay with that. What I'm saying is, I would rather, you know, I ain't no bot person. I don't go to bigviews.gov. I prefer actual people to be here. I mean, that's the whole point, right? Is like connecting with actual people, yada yada yada. So I would prefer, if there are numbers, that they be reflective of actual people watching stream and stuff. But I don't know. Twitch is weird. So anyway, hello. Here's the thing. This should be working. Oh, there we go. Oh my goodness. Is tonight technical difficulties night? I love it when those happen. Those are my favorite kind of Cahill stream. But yeah, just time to chill out. Work on some animation. I am both torn in between how much I want to draw, and that in terms of like streaming stuff, I do want just a little bit more games on the channel. I think it's a delicate balance that I'm not always paying attention to, and as such, it tends to get out of control before I notice. So here's what we're gonna be doing. I have this villain dude here, and I tested out this animation only for it to not actually look very good as he raises his hand up behind him. So I'm gonna add some in-betweens, because I mean the specific way it didn't look good was like legitimately just well, that's not enough frames. That was an incredibly fast PowerPoint you showed us there. Cahill. What do you think they said back in the day, before PowerPoints were a thing, and they were testing out animations and something just looked stuttery? Do you think they just said stuttery? Probably. I'll tell you what else I was thinking of. I was thinking, if I bother to dedicate more of these art streams to making my cartoon, do y'all think I can just start using the furry tag responsive? Do you think I can responsibly be using the furry tag? Because I mean, who can deny that some of the earliest traces of the furry community are anthropomorphic cartoons, or older anthropomorphic cartoons. You gotta admit, everyone likes to point out the Goofy movie. You know, they're not wrong. I mean, it's probably even before that, if we're being honest, but a lot of things tend to have more history than people give them credit for, so I say that. I think that was something I was saying about Thanksgiving on another stream, which is kind of a joke, because I mean, just like Thanksgiving as a concept doesn't really need the history behind it, but obviously everything has a lot of history behind it. That's how time and space work. So how do I make this move in a 3D space? Oh, Bean. Can someone get James Baxter on the line? Lord, could you imagine? Could you imagine if I had one of the most talented, prolific animators alive on like speed dial, and I only used it to make sure to be like, hey James, my guy, my pal James, how do you do this? Okay, there we go. I knew something was amiss. I do hope my friends come to join me. I have been in like purely private calls, for example, with like the Metroid streams. Because I mean, like, Metroid, a big part of it is being isolated. So I feel like me immediately jumping into the game, trying it out for the first time, and immediately having people right next to me talking about stuff. It's like maybe I need to curate the experience a bit more, you know. So I've been in purely private calls for that, but I feel like in art streams, you are actually only really benefited by having people join you, people who you have good chemistry with. I will say, I feel like that's something. It's like weird to talk about and think about, but I like talking about weird things that not a lot of people think of when it comes to certain situations. But like, what was I thinking of? Oh yeah, but I mean, part of it, you know, I feel like part of having any friend on your stream is whether or not you have a good chemistry. You know, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to be like, you know, yada yada yada. But I need to monetize my friendships. But you know, I feel like that's almost what I'm saying. Not every friendship is gonna inherently be like, oh my goodness, I can't wait to listen to these guys talk for hours. Yada yada yada. And as such, you have to start thinking about just like, well, maybe I do more online stuff with this friend and not this friend. Which doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. And so I realize I selected that when it's alone on its layer, so I don't know. I'm gonna rotate it and see how bad it looks, because usually... Is this artifacting? I don't know what this is called. When it starts getting all square, because CSP isn't bothering to like kind of interpolate. I'm saying interpolate in more like the actual sense of the word, and less so. What was I thinking of? I know interpolation is also a technical term. I don't know if it means the same thing in both. Of like, kind of making. I need to look up what interpolation means now. I'm gonna drive myself crazy. Interpolation. Definition. The insertion of something of a different nature into something else. That is kind of what I meant. Because when I said interpolate, I meant it along the lines of, you know, I'm changing this thing slightly. Program, please assume that I'm trying to keep it looking roughly the same. And as such, start making proper adjustments. I was gonna ask, because I used a textured brush. Really, that's really all it's called, textured. not anything specific, just textured. While we're working on this cartoon specifically. I was about to be like, is this kind of weird stuff relegated to that? But no, I've rotated plain line art in CSP before. I know it's not. Oh wait. Oops. I'm doing some layer adjustment here. make sure all my ducks are in a row, as it were. But yeah, I feel like just 1 or 2 more frames of this action is kind of good enough to get across what I'm doing, to make it look smoother than how it was looking before. I am also thinking about, like, okay, so realistically, this thing was probably, I'm aiming for and hoping for, roughly 2 minutes. And, like, that's okay. It's not necessarily any cinematic length, but it's a decent length for a little cartoon, for a little original cartoon, you know what I'm saying? And with that in mind, I have thought about just like, okay, how do I market it, you know? Because that's part of it. I am as interested in the process of making these things kind of self-sufficient as I am in the more artistic side of making them. If that makes sense, you know? Because there is legitimately, like, I think something of value to sell here. Sell in kind of quote-unquote words. However you make money on the internet. I'm not a door-to-door salesman offering my reels to the public. Hello, ma'am. I use like a stop-motion program to make these as I'm drawing them frame by frame. And just by looking at the literally under a minute amount of time that the cartoon is currently taking up, you could already tell, like, this is why, you know, film reels are the size they are and were. Because this is hundreds and hundreds of pictures. I actually think it's in the 400s at this point. Closing in on the 500s. If you don't do... Oh my gosh, Juice, hello. You know, Juice, I was just talking about how much I wish a friend would show up. And whether you're here or in call, I'm so happy to have you. But yeah. Juice, if you've never done the math for how long a 12 frames per second cartoon is, like how many pictures it is, it's a lot. A whole half an hour is unthinkable. 5 minutes, I'm probably still not gonna do it. Yes, the program I used to make that happen, Juice, is not working. Unfortunately. So, machines are fun. I'm doing in-betweens. Good old in-betweens. When you go back to your animation and say, this looks like shit. Just gotta add more pictures. Just gotta really tighten up these pictures. You know, I used to keep certain things a secret on stream because I wanted to put them on Patreon. But then I realized, wow, I can't keep up in a Patreon with a Patreon in a way that makes me feel like I'm being healthy. Or the people are getting their money's worth out of. So I'm going to stop that. Incentive to spend points now, okay. Was your incentive before only to spam parrot? Because kind of glad I curtailed that. Phantom Blood is the worst part, okay. You will never reach its mage. And it's not true. Listen. Not, I don't. Yeah, I'm too animation pilled right now to be like, let me talk about JoJo. Oh yeah, but I was talking about how, like, legitimately, because maybe if it was just my own physical health on the line, I could ignore it and keep doing art. But Patreon as a model was not working for me, and it made me feel bad. So, emotionally too. So, like, okay, Can't keep this up. But now I don't want to spill secrets because I'm planning to put them in the cartoon. Alex Hirsch. I was gonna say Alex Hirsch, eat your heart out, but if I'm being honest, I'm only about to do half the stuff I do, because he kind of was just like, I'm gonna do putting this in a kid's cartoon. So the way I was fully researching cryptography the other day, which I didn't know was a field of study, but accurate, but time era accurate cryptography. Yes, man. Should I change the stream title? The service I use to make it speak with me. The service I use to make my mouth move. Broken. Bones broken. So, I just figured I'd have him in there. I mean, if you want to, Juice. Listen. Sometimes streaming is about knowing what to say, and if people just want to keep asking why my VTuber is broken. You know, it just occurred to me, because the traditional thing people use to do 3D VTubers is VTube Studio, right? I'm so glad I don't have to deal with that most of the time. I don't have VTube Studio even, so don't even gotta worry about it. But yeah. Yeah, I've been in my free time writing a document that no one will ever get to see. Because it has all lore for the cartoons. And
lore.
Oh, let me turn Juice up some. And what about the lore, Juice?
Yep.
No. Then you'll spill it. You already saw some of it, so.
I don't recall, so it doesn't count.
Yeah, well, sucks to be you.
It does.
Everyone's gonna be like, Juice is so quiet. I know. That's Juice. That doesn't even have to be a Discord thing. It is just Juice.
I'm not quiet in real life.
You are. I've met you.
I'm not.
You are.
Hmm.
Heaven's Door! Take their voice box! He would. Have we... You know, it's been a while... I am rereading part 4. But does Heaven's Door ability ever actually, like, change someone's physiology? Or no? Not, but beyond the book thing. Because the book is the mechanic of how the thing works. But does Rohan ever be like, okay, cut off his ball sack, and then Heaven's Door's like, you got it, boss, and the ball sack is gone?
Remove his ability to come.
I mean, it's literally powerful enough. That is something I'm always interested in, because, I mean, don't get me wrong, Star Platinum and / the world, and or the world, because they are kind of one and the same at some point. Even Jotaro starts saying that. But, like, that is, like, basically one of, if not the most powerful sans, you know, evolution or exterior mechanic that we've seen. But I am always curious, because, like, for example, everyone loves to point out, in part 4, Jotaro was struggling against a fucking rat. I wonder if there is fucking stand mechanics that work even in spite of stopped time. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, Dio is a vampire. If one of his henchmen, the Sun, activate his ability, the Sun, would Dio melt to death? Or does the stopping of time also prevent that from happening? Who's to say, really?
Araki.
Araki, he's like, I don't care. I'm writing Breaking Bad right now, so. Hello? Elvie Art just followed. Hi, Elvie. How you doing? I hope good. But yeah. I think the only reason Araki cares about his own rules in fiction is for the purposes of rating situations with those rules and fictions. So, since I don't think we're gonna get another, like, time stop battle with someone with a passive ability, then I don't think that he cares about whether or not it works like that. I think he's just like, I have other stuff. I'm like 70. I have other stuff going on right now.
See that old?
Iraqi is actually like nearing 70. He is like
He's 63?
Yes. I've actually thought he was in his mid. I thought he was a little older than that, but yeah. No. People have joked that he's a vampire before. I'm fine, mostly. Well, I hope that goes from fine mostly to fine entirely, LB. Or maybe even, and I know this is near sacrilege to say, but maybe even perhaps good. If at all possible. I know. But yeah. No, Iraqi might outlive, because, like, okay, so for example, my grandparents, decently old, you know, like, they're not ancient, but, you know, they're elderly, right? And I have seen people their age look awful. Look like they are past the best way to
the expiration date.
Exactly. These people are past expired milk. But like my grandparents are doing great, and I'm always thankful for that. And going by that logic, I think Hirohiko Araki might outlive literally all of us. I think by the time he starts looking 70, he will be in his late 110s. So we'll all be long dead. And honestly, he'll probably be past JoJo at that point and making something else. I did.
JoJo, but it's a gayer.
Exactly. I do kind of hope, to a degree, that Part 9 is the last part. Because I even saw a news article about it that people were debating about it. Because, you know, JoJo has kind of worked in trilogies thus far. And it's either ended on Part 9, which might be good, or go on to Part 12, which would be maybe a weird choice. So I don't mind. And whether he retires or has something else to do, or wants to do another manga series, I would love to see whatever Araki does.
I feel like Araki's gonna be like the Miyazaki of Jump.
I mean,
just like, I'm retiring, I'm back, I'm retiring, hello, hi, I'm back.
I almost feel like that's more Akira Toriyama, because what I was talking about yesterday. Because, like,
yeah, but
I get the impression Miyazaki kind of wants to retire, but he also doesn't like anything anyone else is doing enough to allow it to happen. And Toriyama is kind of just like, fucking fine. If you're gonna use my shit anyway, might as well do it myself. Might as well be involved. So.
Might as well make Goku yellow for the 50th time.
Listen. Dragon Ball, I stand by it. Dragon Ball, good to a point. And that point is much earlier on than most people would like to admit. But, still very good. It's both earlier on than people would like to admit and later on. Because I'm always including original Dragon Ball with that. And there's a large chunk of people who like when Goku punched the big guy that has never read original Dragon Ball. They've never seen Goku as a child. They only think of him as an adult. So, Juice, do you even know about the gay Nazi from Dragon Ball?
Excuse me?
He's not a Nazi, but he is part of a fascist army looking to take over the world.
I don't know, that's pretty Nazi of him to do.
That's pretty. But yeah, in early Dragon Ball, they're one of the biggest plots, which is why I'm like Cell Saga, that like if it had ended there, would have been like one of the best series. I'd be like, this series fucks forever. But Red Ribbon Army, they're like, we're gonna get the Dragon Balls and take over the world, or at least that's what they thought the plan was. And one of their top generals, General Blue, like Dragon Ball was originally a lot more comedy, and Bulma was like, I shall seduce him, and he was straight up just like, I am into men, ma'am. And then he swiftly kicked all of their asses, and they just kind of managed to escape by circumstance more than anything. and then he was killed off by a different person. So,
I guess it'd be like that.
listen, it was a good time. Funny. Did you consider though? Jews funny. Here's the thing.
You know what? I didn't.
I am interested in reading any passion project Toriyama has done after Dragon Ball, but I really don't feel like reading Doctor Slump, which was his original manga, which centered around a super powerful robot girl named Arale, who has fought Goku several times, including in Super, which scales her to some broken people. I mean, that's her whole bit, and they even say that it's like, she's a gag manga character. We cannot win here. Vegeta says that verbatim. So, yeah. I will say, I talked about this the other day, about like getting to the heart of what makes things good, yada yada yada. Even though I'm just like, OG to Cell is amazing, I wouldn't call that like, original Dragon Ball. Original Dragon Ball is all of it. From the start to Boo, and at that point, then you really can start getting into some flaws, to some issues that happen. But still pretty good. I still like me some Dragon Ball by Akira Toriyama, and I like me some JoJo by Hirohiko Araki. But I would argue that's why I vouch for 9 being the end. Because I would not like it to get to a type of Boo saga where Araki is like, man, I want to not do JoJo now, actually. And Jump is like, do JoJo, Araki. Or Ray has to get in it again.
Please, anything but that.
Juice, have you seen Neon Genesis Evangelion?
Yes.
I feel like I need to rewatch it.
You should.
I'm not going to watch the end of Evangelion, though. I have a firm stance on that. It makes me sad.
And you shouldn't.
Did I should? Are you actually like, no, don't watch End of Eva?
Yeah, like any of the movies, you really shouldn't be watching.
Damn.
Because 2 of them are like, fuck you, fuck everybody saying the ending is terrible. Have this.
Yeah, that's exactly why I'm like, I don't want to watch End of Eva. That sounds bad. Could you imagine if, like, someone told you your work wasn't good enough, so you just did a lot of it out of spite, and it was all just very angry because of that in a lot of ways? That's not a good situation for anyone, really. Imagine doing that to an IKEA salesman. You're never gonna get that Hassflog together. You're
never gonna leave the building.
Yeah. The meatballs have been poisoned. And what is that preteen doing next to that bed? Oh no. Shinji!
Look, Shinji's gonna do what he's gonna do. You just have to watch it.
I mean, he'll do what he's gonna do. Cause, okay, let me ask. So, do you know a lot about Ava, Juice, or no?
Not a super lot.
Okay. Cause is the ending of the original series the idea of, like, like a lot of it happens kind of in a mindscape, and Shinji kind of learns to resolve his personal issues because of that?
I think that's what it's supposed to, because, like, all of Ava is who's the guy that wrote it? It's Dubro's, like, journey through depression.
Yeah, which is why I'm like, that's why I'm so against people being like, the ending's bad, do End of Ava, and he's like, fucking fine. That's a very cute emo about Paula. What else was I thinking of? I don't know, because I do think it is good. Also, I remember seeing someone be like, what about the rest of it? And while watching it, I remember getting the impression that, like, his dad had a list of angels, kind of like a prophecy thing, of just like, there's this many of these things, right? We're gonna get through them, I guess. So I wasn't just like, no, you have to stop more of them. I don't know if that makes sense. Where did Paula go?
Paula has vanished.
No. If that was an animated emote, I can't see it.
Oh, it is. It's a cutie fly backing up
In reverse.
and out of frame.
PewDiePie, I feel like that's a lot of feelings I have for Pokemon past Gen 5. Is like a lot of them, it's just like, this would be a fantastic mascot on its own. And as a Pokemon, it's like, yeah, it's pretty good. Maybe it's because I don't have a nostalgic attachment for it, but
It could be because my rose-colored glasses for Gen 5 do not carry over to the real world.
listen, I don't know what I would, because that's kind of my impression with, like, that's my argument. We talked about this the other day of Mario 64, is that I was like as much of like a control case. I was trying to think of the word, science word, as possible. Where I was a kid who didn't know what games were, and I played Mario 64, and I thought it was the greatest thing in the entire world. Um, Years after it had been released. Uh, so, so with that in mind, it's just like, if I have a kid play, for example, we're not gonna go full Switch era. Let's say Alola first. If they play that game, and then, I mean, I still like it, and then they play like the Gen 4 kind of, a lot of the remakes of the originals, yada yada yada. Are they gonna be like, there is a difference, or are they gonna be like, no, all Pokemon, all good? I don't
I
know.
actually do have a control for that.
Who's that? As in
My
they.
little cousin.
Okay, but are you saying it's a control as in
I
they've done that, or it's a control
yeah,
as in you're.
yeah,
Okay.
they've done it
Okay.
because they're 11 years younger than me,
Yes.
and they got the 3DS first. So
Gotcha.
they played the 3DS Pokemon and
Hmm.
then went back to 4 and Soul Silver.
And have they told you what their favorite Pokemon is or no?
No, but
Gotcha.
like the consensus is Pokemon, Pokemon.
Pokemon. I mean, that's still kind of my consensus. I don't even. I don't have a vendetta against fucking Fukuoka. It's just I don't want to play the game he's in, so that
I
becomes an
wish that
issue.
game was better.
Yeah. I was like, if they patch it, I'll get it, and then they didn't. So I know
And then they
everyone.
released DLC.
I know everyone's against that model, but honestly, like, fucking the games. If games are always gonna be hooked up to Wi-Fi anyway, then yeah, patch your fucking games. I would prefer it be like finished first, but if I can establish the model of I'll buy it when it's good, then I don't care at that point, because at least eventually it'll be good. So Max was talking about like Skyrim and everything yesterday as we played. Well, I'm vomiting. As we played Dokapon, and I was the only thing that had me interested in Skyfield was like, be a space pirate, and I was like, I'm listening. But honestly, for multiple reasons, I'm like, eh. I don't necessarily need Starfield. It kind of looks cool in some regards, but in others, I'm just like,
I've only heard meh about
that.
that game.
See, I feel like my problem is like, I anyone who's hear me talk about Sea of Thieves knows I'm a sucker for good ship stuff, and the stuff that looks good to me is all on the ship, and that's great. But if all the game outside of that is very bad, then or meh, then I'm probably not going to get my money's worth out of it. And also, I'm not actually very interested in enabling Todd Howard
To make Skyrim for
to
the
make
20th time.
exactly to make game with buggy system. to justify people being like, Baldur's Gate 3 is the exception, not the new standard. And I can kind of accept that in a way, but it should be the aspirational standard. It shouldn't just be like, we can never do this ever again. You stop that. Start making
I
good
mean,
games.
Baldur's Gate should be the standard in finish your game before you release it
That
and
too.
not in scale. Because Baldur's Gate is huge and
Yeah.
you cannot sustainably keep making games like that.
Honestly, maybe people should focus on kind of making games like MGS5. And I know that's not a finished game, but in the way that a lot of MGS5 centers around like these static singular places, but with like deeper systems working in them, so that you can have infinite replayability. And that's Hitman too. And Hitman's had a much better reputation and has had finished games before. So, like, if people want to be like, okay, we're not going to make it an open world. I mean, no one needs to make more open worlds, but if we're not going to make it like this huge thing, we're going to have it on a kind of smaller scale so that you can explore and have a good time in it. So, I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind some games with missions. You know, it doesn't all have to be story, seamlessly bring me from one to the other. I can enjoy a mission-based game every now and then. I kind of want to get... I have the first Hitman, because I got it on like sale for like $2 one day after 3 had come out. I kind of want the other 2, because I'm pretty sure I would only need 3. But if I'm going to get 3, I might as well just have 2 and 3 on the shelves at that point. I like my numbers looking good, okay? Call me an accountant, because numbers.
You can't do math to save your life.
Call me an accountant, because it sucks.
Okay.
Yeah. I need to talk about this. Barry Kramer, man, was playing a game, El Paso Elsewhere, I believe it was. That game looked very good, and I would like it, except that it costs money, and I have enough. And there's enough games coming out as is, so like, you know, I'm probably not gonna get it anytime soon. And even if someone is like, "Here, Kale, I got it for you," I would like to stream it specifically, but that would probably require it to be on console, and I don't think it's gonna. It'll probably be on console at some point, but not now. So, not today.
It's on Xbox.
Is it? I don't have an Xbox.
And PS4.
Oh, okay. I do have a PS4. So, heck, you can always. I'm not. No. I don't want people to be like, "I'll get it for you, Kale, please." Don't like me. Don't do that to me. Don't put that kind of pressure on me. I already feel that pressure enough myself. I'm not gonna.
We'll do it.
I'm not gonna. Like, what was I thinking of? Invoke it in others. I was gonna say evict, but that's what parasites.
Please don't evict people.
Here's the thing. It can get a little sticky, because my family had landlords for a hot minute there, and they were chill, and it was, and I think it's kind of the thing, like with Airbnb, for example, where like Airbnb was supposed to be like an exception, and people started turning it into a full thing, and that went badly. Where it's like, these people had a house they were trying to get rid of, and couldn't. So they were like, hey, you don't need to buy it from us, but you can live in it. We were like, neato. So they were pretty chill. But I definitely think people who are like, I'm a landlord as a job, it's like,
It's like, oh, so you're a blood-sucking parasite as a job.
Is it a job? Are you there? Are you fixing their pipes every every day? Are you? If you're gonna be a landlord as a job, first off, either A, you're part of the monarchy, and we can't be having that, or B, I forget what B was.
You were going to skip to C anyway.
No,
You started saying C.
No, I was gonna say or B. Like, you are there every single day, like vacuuming their house, making it look real spiffy, so that by the time they come home, you know, everything's neat and tidy. Are you doing that? No? Well then fucking stop saying it's your job. Disgusting.
Just fucking stop.
Stop it.
Just all together.
I've made several mistakes, but I can fix them. I can fix him. Improve. I can rebuild him. Make him better, stronger, faster.
Can you?
No. Nah, he's dead. No.
Oh, why do you have to die?
HD Portgas is dead.
Come on, man.
There's nothing. Remember how I said how much I don't like people spoiling that part of One Piece? I do. So, but in my defense, it was funny when I did it. So,
Okay, then it was funny when everyone else did it.
no, because sometimes they were just making edgy AMVs and just showing Ace's death first thing. And it's like, you can put a spoiler warning in front of there. I don't care how old it is. People might be getting into One Piece. You don't know. Juice might
I
still
like
not
that.
be caught up on One Piece. So, you don't know what the spoiler
I am on chapter. I'm opening Shonen Jump.
if it's not like 10:40.
9:16.
Okay, well, you're getting there. Are you enjoying
Very
it, Juice?
slowly. I am now because
Good.
I just got to shit happening in Wano.
Oh, shit does happen in Wano is the thing. People, bitches be like, shit don't be happening in Wano, but it do. So, I hope you have a good time. Wano
No.
is very pretty in both the anime and the manga. It's like, oh, Japan from Japan.
It's Japanida.
Japan. I think about that. I feel like Oda is just like the exotic land of Wano, and I'm like, dude, this is based
You
off the
live here.
yeah, this is based off the place you live. Imagine if, imagine if I fucking made a series in like the far off wild city of New York, and it's like that's next door to you, and be like, yeah, and far off and exciting. You don't know what
They don't live there.
Yeah, you don't live there. You don't fucking know. But they know I live there. So me treating it like that. Juice, do you know anything about the game I was mentioning that Barry is playing or no?
I googled it to see if it was on PS4.
Gotcha. You
That's
do
it.
you do have a vampire GF in that game.
Excuse me?
Yeah. You are trying to kill her, but that's because she's trying to end the world, but you get to uncover the tragic love story because of that.
Can I borrow $20?
Only if I can borrow $20.
We can
just
pass around
Yeah,
$20.
exactly. We both end up getting the game because it's like me and Juice lent each other $20. Weak. Always fun. Always fun to play capitalism with your friends. That's how I feel like streaming is. It's probably why I find it more fun than a job. I'm just like, I love it when everyone passes around the money, around the campfire. I need to get like my sleep schedule down pat. Like I'm okay if like my new sleep time is 1 o'clock in the morning, but if that's the case, then I need to be waking up at 9 and not 11 o'clock. Managing sleep is weird. Juice doesn't do it, so. What else fucking things things and happenings. I want to make sure this is right. Right. Okay, we're good. Looking good. Looking good. See, that's the other problem. It's like, that game is out, and then there's Sonic Superstars, which I'm probably not even going to be getting because I'm just like, I need to save money. And I'm not going to, like, at the very least, when I'm getting the Mario games, I can be like, I'm streaming this. It is a logical purchase. But I'm not going to be getting a bunch of games for my own enjoyment. I'm already getting games for stream and such, so I have to hold off on some of them. And unfortunately, no matter how many more games come out, I've already made my decision on which two I'm getting. So I gotta turn on my fan. Why is it always so hot? You know what, that's it. That's it, chat. I'm taking my pants off. Oh, my call.
On stream?
Okay, I'm back. Anyway, I think it's funny because, like, I'm not a big fan of heat, right? I don't enjoy, like, sweltering in the sun. And so typically what that'll mean is that I'm gonna do a sneaky little trick here. Is that, like, I enjoy air conditioning, you know? Even though summer, going outside is a ordeal, I enjoy getting to use the air conditioning and cooling myself down. And you think, oh, well, that must mean you're a winter guy, right? And I kind of am, except for the part where, like, it's like maybe mid-60s outside, and I walk into a place and they fully have the heat on like 92, and I'm just like, y'all need to calm down. Humans are mammals. We have fat deposits for this shit. You don't need to be like, you know. Hi, Pig. What's up? Pig, do you want to talk about fat deposits with me? You don't need to be cranking the heat.
I want to talk about fat deposits.
Gay has become a ventriloquist. Oh my lord.
I pinned that message
I
for
know.
a reason. Read it.
We're everyone point at Pig and call him old. Say the old man is old. Pig is home. Yeah, pin that one instead. But no, Pig, I know. Computer broken. I don't know if anyone knows this, but I don't have an incredibly professional streaming setup, which is foolproof, you know? Like, there's some there's some quirks in it, and things can fail, so... I was just pointing out this cool new skill. Okay, that's fair. I thought you were legitimately just like, Cahill, I mean, I appreciate it, right? I wish this was the attitude everyone brought to streams. Where it's like, something's wrong, but I won't mention it, and I'll let Cahill keep failing upwards. That'll be cool. But I am aware.
You don't want to be Twitch Buggy the Clown?
I don't want to be... I would love to be... Are you kidding me? Twitch Buggy the Clown sounds like a dream job for me. It'd be like, that'd be amazing. It's like... it's like, guys, I keep fucking up, and I'm obscenely wealthy because of it. I would use my fame better than Sniper Wolf. Oh, topical comment. Why was I Popeye? Why did Popeye make a comment on internet drama?
Because Popeye is hip with kids.
Popeye is awesome. Love that guy. I'm not actually gonna talk about that, but it is wild. And also, it's not internet drama. That's a crime. That's a criminal crime. You know?
I mean, it started as the internet drama.
Yeah, well, you can say that about a lot of crimes if we're being honest here, Juice. So.
Yeah, that's true.
A lot of things can start out as internet drama and become crime. So, I saw a video about, if anyone doesn't know, one YouTuber like came to another's house and filmed it, and not in a consensual way, in a very I tracked you down kind of way, which is like don't even look it up, because the best way to quash that stuff, this is the biggest example of, if you want it to go away, just ignore it. It being a person who invaded another's home, but regardless, what was I thinking of? But yeah, I'm not gonna comment on it, but I did see a video It's like, whose side are you on? And I was like, what the fuck do you mean side? Someone
There's
like,
sides.
I know. There's not, for the record. I know a lot of people like to paint a lot of issues as like black and white, but this one kind of is. One person broke the law and the other one didn't. So, and you might be like, well, technically, Kale, it's not illegal to go to someone's house. And I'd be like, yeah, well, it's also not it's not illegal for me to send you a picture of you in the 5th grade, but you wouldn't like it, would you? So, you'd probably call the cops at that point. It's a spiritual crime, you know. Maybe not a paper crime, but spiritually it's crime.
It's crime enough that Batman will take offense.
Can I say something? I wouldn't probably act on this, probably, but also it is very tempting. Okay, so Juice, you know pirates?
Like as a concept?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know how I like them?
Yes.
Okay. So, you know how rich people will own boats?
Yes.
So all I'm saying is, if I bought a ship and some brass cannons, listen, just you know, pure theory here, but that's gonna be the end of the sentence now. So
I see.
I could put on a pretty cool fireworks show. You can't deny that.
The
I
best
always
fireworks shows.
I legitimately, honestly, I don't know if I would prefer to buy my own ship or learn ship making and try and make my own, like, Yelling Mary. Because not a Black Pearl, like a more so a ship that could theoretically be decently crewed by 1 or 2 people, and I think a accurate, inaccurate model of the Going Merry could theoretically be crewed by a very small amount of people. I mean, it's kind of designed to do that. There are only 6 Straw Hats ever really sailed on it, and there's like 10 of them now. So, but Nami was doing most of the work. So, but yeah. Fucking, I think I need to rotate this. It doesn't look like it's a good in-between. Let's juice some bladder animating. Quickly.
That's not true.
Slice off my hands.
Oh, I'll do that though.
Remove part of brain that animates. Only leave room for fried chicken, and I can open my own restaurant. Called Bucket
Colonel
O'Clucks.
Standards?
Bucket O'Clucks. No, mine would be called Bucket O'Clucks. That was the first thing that came to my head.
That name is already taken.
Damn it. Is that a real thing?
Yeah.
I'll open a restaurant with an original name like Jones Barbecue and Foot Massage. Truly, it'll be the greatest meat vendor of all time.
Why would you ever call it a meat vendor?
Okay, so meat is wet, right? Meat contains
Yes.
water, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there meat bending on top of blood bending in the Avatar universe, or no? Can there be meat bending? Should there be meat bending? Ethically, should there be meat bending?
Ethically, no.
Ethically, no. Physically, can there be?
I mean, that's kind of what bloodbending already is.
You're right. Also, I think it's interesting because there are like, it's weird how I don't want to say pseudoscientific because that has a whole thing to it, but you know, semi-scientific Avatar is, because like water bending includes a large variety of things because water is present in so much. Earth bending is just like if it's got minerals in there, baby, it's free real estate. etc., etc. Fucking, you can just call firebending energy bending, because like we see through multiple people you can use fire in just raw combustion. So it's weird. It's just like, I know these aren't like elements. This isn't the periodic table, but we are taking into account how the real world is made up in terms of physical materials. Oh yeah, I had talked yesterday about Jake the Dogs in Adventure Time, right? And like he seems to be I mean, in one of the follow-up series, like it turns out he went to the 50th Dead World, which is like the highest one, where you're like fully in nirvana, yada yada yada. But I also mentioned how it kind of makes him a dick in some situations, because he will like almost completely disregard some people's feelings. And I've thought about that in terms of airbending too, because like in different extended media, they talk about how to be like the best airbender and to be truly free, you have to be detached from everything in the world. And I'm just like, but wait a minute, am I really free if I don't have a choice about giving a shit about stuff in the world, in order to reach my full potential as an airbender? So think about that.
Many Asian religions would like to talk.
Listen. Well, I mean, are they really promising freedom? Or is it more just like, this is how you achieve enlightenment? Or insert some kind of synonym here. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said Buddhism the other day when I was talking about Jake the Dog, but I was like, no, I don't really mean that. Because he's not even really that. He's just kind of trying to chase his own thing. It's just, I think he can be selfish in that pursuit himself as a character, not as a creed that applies to many real world people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would not come for another religion. I'm just talking, but I'm doing character analysis, not fucking theology. Lord, I'm not doing theology. Please don't attack. Please don't hurt me.
The theology is fun though.
No, I'm just saying.
Oh.
This is. I think that is legitimately what one of the key elements to what makes One Piece so good is Luffy. Luffy is supposed to represent freedom, and he just does whatever the hell it is he wants.
Okay, we're doing theology in here.
No.
Hey, Pig.
I am on Blue Sky, Kingfisher. Oh my goodness. I think I'm literally just taking comics. Also, Pig, quickly.
Yes.
Discuss the idea of the idea of freedom versus the actuality of freedom. Do it now.
In what context? Oh my lord.
In all contexts.
No, that's far too broad.
Professor Pig, please lecture us.
Professor Pig, please stop attacking the Batman and tell us things. Do it now.
Okay, genuinely, are we talking, like, philosophically? Are we talking religiously? Are we talking free will versus, like, what are we talking about here?
I don't know. How about you decide? Because I was talking about it in terms of, like, for example, in Avatar: The Last Airbender, they kind of talk about religion in the idea of abandoning all material possessions versus Luffy, whose freedom is literally he just does whatever it is he wants and is very happy with that. And that, frankly, I see the latter as more of a freedom as the former, because I think the former inherently constricts you in what you can do.
Well, the problem is freedom means multiple things.
No.
No. I'm saying the word freedom means multiple things.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is what Aang seeks is freedom from. He seeks freedom from all that would hold him back, whereas what Luffy seeks is freedom to. That is, he seeks the freedom to seek what is best for him.
Pig,
they can end up coming to the same thing, but they are fundamentally different.
Pig, I have awful news.
I am Kingfisher.
I was talking more about the Legend of Korra than I was talking about Aang himself. Because I would argue Aang is kind of the easier route to take, only because It's like you, because I was thinking about the other pirate media whose central focus is freedom, which is, of course, Pirates of the Caribbean, which I think about basically once a day. And with that in mind, like, I think it's much easier to write a story about, like, someone kind of trying to attain freedom from a certain situation, as opposed to just, like, general all-around freedom. Because, I mean, you're right. Many definitions, many, like, different interpretations of that. But
Well, the thing is, like, freedom from and freedom to stories are fundamentally different.
Because in the Legend of Korra, I believe in season 3, like, it is discussed that, and also during, like, a flashback where you see, like, the first airbenders and yada yada yada, it's discussed that if you have, like, no material attachments, or whatever, then you can fly as an airbender. And I'm like, I don't want the power of flight over all my loved ones ever. That sounds like a shitty trick, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, with that in mind, I should actually just delete these 2 frames because they are doing nothing. They aren't giving. And I heard people talk about that in relation to, like, the end of One Piece, because if your freedom kind of inherently necessitates a strict set of rules, isn't that kind of ironic? You know what I mean? Because
because that is freedom from.
Yeah.
Freedom to is I can do whatever is best for me.
Okay.
Freedom from is identifying those things that are worst for you and freeing yourself from them. That's why I say they're fundamentally different stories, and discussing them with the same word is barely even meaningful.
I mean, I guess you're like, these are 2 different words, but you're also using 2 words from it. And I am talking specifically about what you're phrasing as freedom from, I don't think I'm mixing words on that.
But that's not what Luffy's looking for. Luffy is not identifying things in his life that he wants to be free from.
Don't crucify me for this big. I meant freedom too. I got them mixed up. That was a slip of the tongue more than it was me being.
But then that's not really what the Airbenders are pursuing.
No, they are. I guess you're kinda right, but that's what I'm saying. Is that they're not saying it. We're freeing ourselves from X. I mean, I guess they are kind of like free ourselves from.
They're freeing themselves from desire, from, like, whether or not you think those things are good is a whole different discussion.
That's
I'm very pro desire, and that is a freedom to mindset.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Oh lord, I may be playing
Okay.
Subnautica.
Oh, fantastic!
Oh,
Do it, you coward!
Pig,
I'm
don't
doing
go in
it.
the ocean.
Ah. Oh.
Pig, we should play Raph instead. That's Subnautica, but above the water. That is like Subnautica, but above the water.
Shit.
Think
But
about
you
that.
still go into the water sometimes.
Don't tell him that. Don't tell him that. He
Where's
won't do
my-
it.
Shit, where's
Where's the fish away? The spray that
where's
makes the
my-
fish go away.
Where's my
I mean,
prawn
there,
suit?
there technically is fish away.
Yeah, it's called an oil spill, Juice. I was trying to avoid talking about that.
Oh
But
my
you just
god!
had to bring it up. Juice is so pro oil spills, famously.
I'm
You
not!
are famously incredibly pro oil. You're like, man, when the Gulf of Mexico happened, you were like, slurp, 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 yummy, yum. I saw Juice laugh at one of those Dawn commercials where the duck gets really dirty. They chuckled real hard about it.
I'll kill you.
That's just because Juice likes ducks to be dirty. It's got nothing to do with liking oil.
Juice has so many pinups of Donald in their room.
What?
Donald the duck.
Donald during his
Excuse
nut
you.
fighting era.
I am a cultured person, if anything, and it's gonna be Daffy.
Daisy.
Um,
Ooh, Daffy, good choice.
Daffy goes back and forth for me. Even though I like him being a foil for Bugs Bunny, I do also like him being just a legitimately more crazy person he can be when he gets to do his own solo flicks and stuff. And that's actually,
Agreed.
it's kind of weird because in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, when he has the piano battle with Donald, literally the other doc we're talking about, he is being a foil to Donald, but he is doing so by retaining his like just completely unhinged personality. So, and I do mean that because I know it's Looney Tunes, but of them, when
He is the looniest.
yeah, if Daffy
And
gets to be on
Tooniest.
his own, then and I was never a big fan of the Looney Tunes show, but they kind of go for like a mixture of it, where like he's a little kind of cynic in that show, but he's also just like no logic applies to him because he's like the worst, but whenever anyone tries to tell him that, it just goes right over his head. So that is fun. There's funny parts
Oh,
of
God.
the show.
Small pants.
Listen, I
The ghost Leviathan is making screaming noises.
Good. Be
They
scared.
do that.
Be scared. Be scared. Pigs, fish. Be scared. Be scared. I will say one thing. When I was writing out lore about this series the other day, I was writing about the Leviathan, and I am not just saying that in Synodica sense. I do mean the Judeo-Christian one. So
Yeah.
that's fun for me.
Oh,
Yeah. So the idea I'm going with is that like, because one of the things I liked in One Piece is at the beginning of Skypiea, the Skypiea arc, where they name drop a bunch of other treasures on top of the One Piece. I was like, I like that idea, collecting great treasures of the world. So I wanted to just cram a bunch of mythologies in here, so that way I can justify their treasures existing in the world. So Neptune in this world did create the Leviathan as his first son, and it didn't go well. So
that's
So-
his boy.
that's his, my boy, my asshole of a boy. Man, I'd love to keep loving you, son, but you just keep killing your brothers and sisters. So, time to die. Uncle Thor is gonna have such a cross time with you. Did your all parents ever call your uncle to punish you as a child?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, he was babysitting me, so
Nah, there you go. My uncle is a nurse, so they would not call him as a punishment. They would call him as just like, hey, we think our child is dying. What's up?
I didn't really know my uncles, but now I am the uncle.
Are you a good
and
Uncle
do you
Pig?
discipline your
I try to be. Ha! Discipline. No.
Pig,
I am incredibly permissive.
Pig, buy your nieces and nephews an actual Super Nintendo. Do it. No balls.
Well, my brother's getting my nephew a GameCube for Christmas, so.
Oh, okay, well,
Sick.
okay. So your brother has good taste, I see. Fair enough.
Mhm.
Yes.
There we go. I was gonna say, the biggest example is one time, what was I thinking of?
God, this is scary.
When we had a house down the shore, which didn't really have central air, my mom was like, hey Dylan, please come help me move this wall unit into wall. Because, I was like a teenager at that point, so I can lift a thing.
Does your mom call you Dylan, or did you have a nickname?
I mean, my mom called me like Dill or Bud, so.
Okay.
General screaming in my direction is another way to refer to me. So, anyway, she definitely didn't say Cahill, and definitely not after the divorce. So, so that's off the
Oh.
table. But she was like, "Help me move this wall unit into here." I was like, "Okay, mother." Here's the thing that neither of us realize is that air conditioners have vents out the back of them, and this particular one had vents made of knives. And by the time we were halfway through moving that air conditioner, my finger had a back to it, but it definitely didn't have a front to it anymore. So we called we called my uncle, being like, "Hey, there's just blood everywhere. What's up?" And he was like, "It'll be fine. Just like slap many high-grade bandages on it. It'll be good." So he did. At that same shore house, one day my cousins were over, and they had brought an electrocutor, and I was like, "Let me try it out." And I was doing pretty good, honestly. Like, we had a big yard and stuff like that. So I was just riding around on it. Here's the thing, though. I did not know how to stop it, and I did see myself barreling towards my father's car. So I decided to Akira slide. Before having seen the movie Akira and having no actual skills in Akira sliding. And what that ended up happening is that one side of my body, opposite of the scooter and the car, hit a wooden just 2x4 that was used to mark the parking space where my dad had his car. And when I looked down at my shoulder, it was purple and many other many other colors. And by the end of that summer, there was a large bandage-sized tan mark on my shoulder because it took its good old time just regrowing. My shoulder regrew itself. So sometimes you get hurt as a kid. But that, that's what being a kid is.
Getting hurt.
Yeah. Juice, worst injury you took as a child. Go. Non-traumatic.
Non-traumatic, and what is the age cap at this?
I'm gonna say literally legally 18. Non-emotionally traumatic injury before you were 18 years old.
I dislocated my index finger. Well, I didn't do it. I was playing basketball, and sometimes the ball going 15 miles an hour hits your finger.
Collides with you. That's awful.
Yeah, that was in the middle of practice.
Fucking Juice, well before discovering My Hero Academia, was cosplaying Deku in the worst way possible.
Yeah, it was. I was in my tournament arc, and bam.
Ow! Not necessarily. I'm not dying here, but ow! That was always my thing. When I broke my arm both times, when I had that shoulder injury.
Hey, I've broken both arms too.
I broke one
Not
arm
simultaneously.
2 times. So, but I was just gonna say anytime it's a very bad injury, but it's not necessarily I've never had a life-threatening injury, I guess. When it's not actually stopping me from living, I'm wow, this hurts, but saying, but I don't know if there's much I can do about that. So I do get upset, but I also am just I just need to accept this pain real quick because it's a new reality I'm facing. Pig, same question to you.
Well, I've broken each of my arms. That sounded like I have more than 2. I've broken both of my arms individually.
Broken several of my arms.
I almost lost an eye.
Oh.
Almost?
Yeah. I fell out of a poorly constructed jungle gym, and there was a protruding sharp bolt.
Oh, that's never fun.
I landed, eyebrow first, upon.
No.
Ah.
Far too close. Yeah, it happens. Listen.
And then, this doesn't count. This is post 18.
Okay.
I think I was 20.
Well, then
But I did fall out of the bunk bed and nearly kill myself.
Well, that sounds... Well, it was when you were an adult, legally an adult, so it sounds like your fault. Maybe you should take more responsibility,
For yourself as an adult.
Tape yourself into that bunk bed, why don't you?
I'm still going to tell the story.
Okay. Absolutely do.
So, here's me, church camp.
Mm-hmm.
And already nothing good is happening, right? It's church camp.
Right.
Literally first night. I'm the last one there, so I end up on the top bunk. I don't want to be on the top bunk. because I am bad at heights. But I don't say this because I also am in the bunk with all the cool kids. And for some reason, I imagine, like, not being good at heights makes me less cool. Whatever. We all go to sleep. At some point, in the middle of the night, I just, like, get up out of bed and apparently forget that I'm on the top bunk and just get out of bed. And the ground wasn't there.
Oh.
So I, as you would in this situation, tip forward. Oh, Lord. Oh, I'm dead.
And
Sorry.
discover a ghost Leviathan underneath me.
No, this is the Dragon Leviathan,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I also got teleported out of my prone suit.
Those guys will mess you up.
Anyway, so I get out of bed, I tip forward, and as part of this, I land head first on the opposite bunk.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh,
So
no.
I had to go and get the funneled, blue tablet, heck, the funneled stitches.
As in you had to wear like a funnel on your neck.
No, not funnel, funneled.
Oh, funnel.
I had to get stitches.
Okay, then I've drawn this story incredibly wrong, but I'm still
But yeah, I had to get stitches. Fun fact: in 6 years, I was the first injury at that entire place that needed to go to the hospital.
Well, the first one they had to record.
Good job.
So.
Also, fun fact: I dented the bed I hit.
Oh.
Pig, is this
Pig.
is this roughly accurate to what you would say happened at your camp?
That's actually yes.
Sick. I love
Damn,
it.
you even got the cone of shame.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he said funneled stitches, and I was just like, well, apparently Pig needed to be dissuaded from biting his nutsack, so they just really had to put a funnel on his ass.
I will say my injury must have been quite severe, but also I feel very sorry for the on-call doctor. Because this is now like 3 a.m.
Yeah, I mean, that you sign up for that when you do that.
Okay, no. But I need to explain to you. Because one of the other kids, the coolest kid, in my opinion, definitely the funniest, goes with me. Like, obviously the counselor drove us. But this kid, like, goes in with me. The doctor walks in, looks at me, turns around and walks out.
No,
And
okay,
then comes back in like a 30 seconds. So
I mean-
he must just have taken a second to like, okay, this is what's happening tonight.
I mean, he probably didn't want to deal with camp kids, if anything, but... I
Yeah.
mean, if you do the night shift at any job, you're like, okay, I'm signing up for this. And furthermore, I'd argue if you're if you're doing the night shift as a doctor, they're like, well, gonna get someone coming in with a stupid injury at late night, so gotta get
I know,
ready for that.
I just thought it was very funny that he's like,
Listen,
okay, I've got to
take.
I've got to psych myself up for what's happening.
Yeah. I don't need to know what happened. You're stupid. Let's fix it. Okay, come on. Anyway, anytime someone tells a summer camp story, I just think of Camp Laszlo. So that's where it was happening.
Honestly, same.
What is Camp Laszlo?
Well, Pig, you don't know good television, but that's okay. Camp Laszlo was like a, was it? Who was it made by? Was it made by like anyone I recognize in the animation industry? Because it was a Cartoon Network show.
It was Butch Hartman.
But was it?
No.
It was fucking not.
No.
Okay.
Butch Hartman could never.
I thought you had Googled it before me. But yeah.
No, I just wanted to say the thing that I knew would
What's that?
irritate you most.
It was a show about, like, you know, bunch of campers. They're all anthropomorphic animals. At a camp called, was the camp, because it was Cabin Jelly Bean, correct? It was because all the cabins were bean themed. Laszlo and his friends were in Cabin Jelly Bean, and they were just trying to have a good summertime and everything, having adventures in the wilderness. So it was pretty good. the one camp counselor might have been gay and a slug, but
Oh, please stop making those sounds.
what? Gay slug?
The gay slug.
No.
The gay slug noises? Big, I don't know why you're playing Subnautica when it causes you such fear, but
It's a good question.
it's a great question.
You remember how I pretended not to be scared of heights
Yeah.
because I was in the
Yeah.
cabin with the cool kids?
Yes.
Oh, Pig.
The randomizer is the cool kids.
Oh, Pig,
Pig,
come
you
on.
are a cool kid. Come
You
on.
don't need- Pig, you don't need this.
You don't need to scare yourself for people to like you.
You're a
Oh lord, I
you-
don't know where I am.
You're a slimly successful Twitch streamer, so you are the cool kid. As compared to me, who is a floundering Twitch streamer, and Juice,
You don't flounder.
who doesn't stream, but they do play Overwatch, so that that takes points off.
I would very
But-
much like to upgrade to like moderately successful,
I mean,
or
we all would.
possibly even unqualified successful, just like successful.
I mean, same
Oh
Pig,
my
but
God.
we don't make that choice. The great Twitch streamer in the sky does.
Mr. Bezos.
I'm going to say a slur on camera. No! You can't!
No!
Not you!
I need you all to understand that the fact that you're having fun is the only thing that is keeping me sane.
Okay,
So thank you, and please continue.
you got it. So, Juice, let me ask you something. Have you
Yeah.
ever thought about the depths of the ocean?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, so
I actually found out a fact about that.
give it to me. I must have it.
So you know the zone where like no light hits the ocean?
Yeah, the
And it's
abyssal
like-
zone.
Yeah, the abyssal zone. That's 60% of the surface of the Earth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I mean, it shocks me too because the
Oh
thing
yeah, don't worry. I'm well aware that we live on the Hell Planet.
This is Pig. You can't say that. Europa exists in the same system as us, and that is literally infinitely worse. So
It's not a planet. Check and mate,
Um,
atheists.
is Europa. Europa might literally be the size of Earth, just because.
It doesn't matter. It's not a planet.
Oh my lord!
It isn't a planet.
No, it's fucking.
What is-
I'm only taking
Oh.
umbrage with that because it could be one of the only other places to support life, and it is
Yeah, but
big enough.
it's still not a planet. I said the Hell Planet.
Oh my lord, no.
I will
Europa is
hold on to
smaller.
technically correct.
No, so you say that, and Mercury is still in the solar system, so.
It is pretty hot there.
And it's not just hot, it's everything there. Every bad thing is on Mercury. Venus, maybe, but honestly, like, it could also be chill enough that I'm not about to make judgments, but. Mercury is just butt to butt with the sun, so. In the worst ways possible.
Venus is hotter though.
I know it is, but, like, it's also kind of, like, insulated in such a way that I think, maybe if you could be, maybe if something could handle the heat, then it wouldn't have to get out of the kitchen. But regardless, I was gonna say that I remember looking at like scales of the ocean, like you get to the abyssal zone like very quickly because I mean, water doesn't like to let light in, so at a certain depth, that'll stop happening, and when most of the ocean is deeper than that, then that's how it's gonna do ya. I learned today that sharks are older than the North Star. Not
I
the,
hate that fact.
not
Thank
the
you.
concept of the North. And I mean that. Here's the thing. I should have known that because sharks are very old, like upwards of hundreds of millions, maybe billions. I don't know. I don't know the specific number. But
It's 450 million.
Gotcha. But yeah, stars have absolutely come into existence in that time, and we can almost certainly see some of them. So, I mean, granted, the fact that one of them is such a well-known, prolific star throughout culture is probably more shocking, but regardless, that sounds awful. I remember the duck tried to mail himself home. I don't think it was a duck. Was there a duck in that show, or was it just a platypus?
I think
Harry
there
the
was
platypus?
Only the platypus.
no, because there was a platypus that was cool, and then the duck was a dickhead, right?
No, the dickhead was the platypus.
Oh, I'm remembering a lot of that show wrong.
Yeah. And it was friends with what I could only describe as two grimaces.
No, you're right.
Also, I'm sorry, Kingfisher, because I was like looking at Google stuff, you know, and I realized I didn't have Twitch chat open.
Yeah, Kingfisher. I'm playing a Subnautica randomizer as part of the Archipelago multi-world, and
you
I
Pig, we'll
like,
just play Apex with like me and Max or something, and we try it.
I am.
Unless you don't think we're good
there are
bullshits.
genuinely parts of this game that make it difficult for me to breathe.
Then
Oh.
you need to stop. I'm like very tired of my friends not considering their own health. Juice, you're concluded in this conversation. So don't you look away. Like, y'all need to stop. Hey, remember when I said Jake the dog was being an asshole? Yeah, this is part of it. You gotta. I adore so many of y'all. Y'all gotta think about yourselves once in a while. Just if nothing else, to keep living. That should be the bare minimum. But still, please just take care of yourself. I'm begging you. You're like, I don't want to make Cahill. Hey, it's not. Because it's not, oh, I don't want to make Cahill sad. No, Cahill's mad. I'm not sad about this. I'm mad about it, so.
Well, making Cahill mad is funny, so
No.
fuck you.
Not when I come and fucking take Danielle.
When you
from
come in
neglect-
what?
When I come in a jar. When I come and take Danielle and from her neglectful parent. Neglectful
She's
to
not
themselves.
neglected.
You know, she's.
Oh, well.
Yeah, but if you die and she's in the house, then guess what? That's not gonna end well for her either.
That's not true. She has an automatic feeder.
Juice, I don't. Yeah, but a limited automatic feeder.
That has 11 pounds of food in it.
She's a pit bull. So I have no doubt 11 pounds. Also, this is assuming you would silently and gracefully pass away, when it was full and she was in a situation in which she could survive the longest. Same goes for you with Gummy Pig. Do you really want people to see Gummy licking your corpse at some point? No. Because they don't take care of themselves, Oak. My friend, I so often worry about friends' health, and I'd like them to be like, I'm getting help because I'm feeling bad. Okay, Mr. Uncrustables, that's different.
It isn't. It's not.
It is because I would feel worse if I ate something that wasn't Uncrustable. So.
Look, I eat my veggies. I drink water. I go outside. Profit.
You'll stop making spooky noises, please. Not you. You're fine.
Grape or strawberry? Grape. Gotta get that classic. But also, Oak, you have a valid point. I know you are very often being like Cahill, pot and kettle. I get it, but see, that's where I draw the line, because I'm not sure that's cheese anymore. I think that is processed orange soup, and I'm like, Anyway, but what started this was Pig playing Subnautica and saying, I find it hard to breathe. And I'm like, Pig, listen to me. I'm begging you. At this point, just do Dark Souls randomizer.
I mean, you would still have a bad time.
Yeah, but
but Dark Souls doesn't scare me like this.
Exactly. Have you played
Dark Souls just
yet?
makes me miserable.
Oh my lord.
That makes sense.
That does make sense.
Mm.
During Dokapon last night, I was very much thinking about, like, you know, enjoyment versus, like, criticism and stuff like that. I mean, that's something I'm interested in, because I'm not in it to tell people what is good. I'm in it because people find a lot of things good. And I'm like, but why, though? Explain your joy to me. Tell me your joy. Let's deconstruct this.
Okay.
I mean, I would argue the benefit to that is, like, if there's something that most people don't enjoy but one person does, then you can find what they enjoy about it and hopefully refine it to such a point that everyone can like it. And I'd argue that's kind of...
Or, it's worth noting, I disagree with the word everyone there.
I mean, yeah.
But when your audience is too broad, often you lose what makes something special.
Fucking pig with this... Pig, please. We can't. I mean, yes, you have a point to a degree, but also still... I was hyperbolizing.
I know, I get what you're saying. You can find what people do enjoy in something that a lot of people don't, and you can reiterate, you can improve, blah, blah, blah. I just think it is not necessarily the best thing to seek broadest possible appeal.
I mean, no, I didn't even mean like that, but like, the thing we were talking about with Max last night was literally Sonic 06, and in some ways that game can be unplayable. So what I'm saying is just like, okay, to a very small number of people, this is very good. How about we just widen that just a little bit and everything?
Yeah, no, that's valid.
If I want to be even more exact with my wording, I can say, you know, zero in on better execution as to realize the vision more properly, but...
Okay, but now you just sound like a corporate douchebag.
Oh my lord. Thank you, Pig.
Just
Yeah,
tell
well-
me I'm wrong.
Well, you started getting
You're
illegal.
wrong.
You were getting legal with it. You were like, well, it can't be everyone because that would infer that. And it's like, yeah, obviously, yes. If we do this, then I have to start sounding like a text to speech. I have to be like, hello, people watching my stream. How are you doing today?
So one of my favorite things that happened recently is someone...
No.
What was that sound? What was that sound? Oh
Also,
my
real
God.
quick, I do want to answer Kingfisher and say I haven't had one since moving back to Jersey, just because I'm not working like 7 days a week now, and as such, you know, I don't need to like get food that I can eat and have as quickly as possible. So a bit better. Anyway,
But yeah, so someone decided to make like a ChatGPT powered like AI VTuber.
Oh yeah, I don't like
And-
it. I don't like it.
And what I appreciate is they got a quick lesson in what people actually come to Twitch for,
Feet.
which is people.
Which is feet.
No, that's why they go to Wiki Feed.
No, you're
Slightly
right.
different.
Slightly different.
But like, people don't just want to see something play a game. They want to see a person play a game. Ideally, a person they can have some sort of like interaction with.
Yeah, that's why I was never into like Twitch plays Pokemon, because I do get the appeal there, but at the same time I'm just like, I'm just gonna be staring at a random screen of Pokemon happenings for literally ever. So
You're gonna watch Dawn run into a wall for 15 minutes.
exactly.
I think at least the advantage of that is like you could be part of it.
Yeah, you could talk, or you could
Hello, Oki.
Hello.
just Okie,
Hello, Oki.
Okie,
I just
quick.
wanted to come in and say that when I went to Twitch earlier this morning, one of the recommended streams was just a naked woman, and the stream title was "Oiled Up Shower," and there were like 5,000 people watching.
I mean,
don't
I
think-
get why
I
there were
don't think-
5,000 people
I
watching.
don't think she was gaming.
I don't think that was gaming. Oh, I do have to ask: were the nipples out, or was she in some way covered, or was she like, was this literally someone just getting away with it?
Why would you assume that I clicked through on them?
Well, you said naked.
I was
so
close. I was close.
I was thinking
No,
about it.
it's the same person I've been seeing for the past few days, where they have like a pane of glass between them and the camera,
Yeah.
and then they'll just
That
like
should not
strategically,
count.
and they'll strategically put up tape or
I'm
something.
gonna
Oh,
I'm gonna message her and ask her what she thinks about fucking the newest Mario game. Be like, hey,
Shit.
did you play
Hey,
the
first time
original?
chatter. Hey, did you hear about that Mario Wonder leak?
I should do a collab with her where we're in a Discord call and I'm not mentioning what she's doing on stream, and I'm just playing a game and she's also talking about it. They that like hold the paper towel roll in front of her breast. Her breast. I feel like I was about to say, like, I feel like if I was someone born with a feminine body, I was gonna say, like, I would take the Billie Eilish approach. But here's the thing, I think Billie Eilish just dresses like me, and I don't think I would change if I was born a different sex. So...
And that's a totally normal thing for cis people to think.
That is fair.
Mhm.
That is fair.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand,
Look, man, I get you. I was such a good feminist that for the first 22 years of my life, I thought I was a woman. Like, it happens.
it happens.
You know?
But I don't know. All I'm saying is I think I'm lazy enough to defy gender, so which I like to think is a new thought. But you know. Also, I feel like the actual problematic thing about what I was saying is just like it's special for someone with boobsicles to not be dressing to show them off. There's this, I don't know who it is. Maybe I should stop by one of his streams. But there's a guy, I forget if he came out as trans or if he's still insisting he's
I do have news about that.
are they trans?
are we talking Finn?
Yeah.
Oh, is it Finn?
Finster has been going through it about that.
Well, listen. I'm not saying you can't like pull off that look without being a gal, but at the same time, like
The rumor come out, does Finster is trans?
This Finster is trans.
It's definitely leaning that way.
Listen, good for them. This
I know.
bitch is trans. Good for her. But either way, it's just first off, they could pull off that look 100%. You know, regardless of
But this ain't you do.
regardless of gender, some people can't pull off looks, and they are not one of them. They can pull off that look. What was I thinking about that? Oh yeah, but I mean that's the thing, right? Sometimes how you want to dress is just regardless of gender thing. It's just like I look good like this versus I look good like this. So.
And then you get me, who who dresses. I look bad no matter what I wear, so I may as well be comfy.
I mean, I don't even think about what I would look good in. I'm just like I'd prefer to be comfy over looking good. So, on any given day, I might just be dressing like Sora from Kingdom Hearts, t-shirt and incredibly baggy pants.
Sora.
Do you also have 15 belts on?
No, but I do have Mickey Mouse shoes. So, how do I draw a man holding a sword? Except it's not a man; it's a crocodile. Interior crocodile alligator.
Look, here's the thing, Cahill. I didn't know how to answer your question when it was a man holding a sword,
Yes.
and then you just switched up the parameters on me. This isn't fair.
Hey, I bet there's at least one person in the world who's like, I don't know how to draw a human holding a sword, and it's like crocodile. Oh, I got you.
I got you. I mean, the answer is, and I said this at the start of stream, the answer is furries. And, like, again, maybe, like, people will be like, oh, I came to your stream, are you a furry? And it's like, no, but I'm drawing anthropomorphic animals, so, you know, y'all can get your bag here. You know how it is. So, I'm not, I may not be a furry, but I'm going back to the source code. So,
I'm just crossing. Hold on. I gotta pull up my Cahill stream bingo card. I'm not a furry, but
play it.
Or like,
That should be anyone. That should be any stream bingo card. I feel like a lot of people go, I'm not a furry, but Treasure Planet is one of the greatest films of all time. And it's true, you don't have to be a furry to say that. You do have to be a furry to say that and be thinking about the captain while you're saying it. So.
And yet, anybody who claims not to be thinking about the captain when saying it is lying.
Is actively thinking about the captain. Sometimes I wish more films were like Polar Express, because that film I noticed like the 18th time I watched it. It's just like, oh, none of these characters have names. It is boy, conductor, girl, annoying kid. Yes. And sometimes I wish movies were like that, because I love Treasure Planet, but also I do not remember all the characters' names. I remember Jimbo Hawkins and Long John Silver's doesn't count. That's a restaurant chain. So you can't be like, I remember Long John Silver.
To be fair, the restaurant chain is named after the character in Treasure Island.
I know, and that shouldn't be legal. It's fucking. I'm not gonna start
Okay,
grilling.
Starbucks is named after a character from Moby Dick. Just like
Is it?
yeah,
I didn't know that. That should
The
also.
first
be-
mate, the first mate on their ship is called Starbuck.
I read Moby Dick a while ago.
I thought that they were disconnected.
Did you just think they had the same name?
Yeah, I thought it was just like coincidence.
I mean, I didn't even know it was. What's the name of the Native American in that book? Because Drew said.
Queequeg?
Yes, that one. I only thought of that because I was like, well, it's called me Ishmael and Ahab, which is a signed hamburger at birth. And that's the name of my hamburger restaurant. Thank you. But then Drew said coincidence, and I was just like, that sounds like one of the characters. I read that book, and I know one of them has a name that sounds like Kwa. So.
Cool.
Cool. So, I'm a Jules Verne. I don't know how much I talk about this, but I'm a big Jules Verne fan. If there's one author I've ever been a fan of, it's Jules Verne, and that's difficult because he died 200 years before I was born. But I think part of it is just that, like, very early on, as a person, I got tired of every movie ever having a romantic subplot for no reason. I'm like, this adds nothing, and I always see it coming. Get rid of it. And Jules Verne Jules Verne is almost like fucking Stardust Crusader, where it's just bros being dudes. So I love me a 20,000 Leagues in Mysterious Islands. No one's ever adapted Journey to the Center of the Earth or any of his books properly, honestly, but I always add some stupid subplot. Did you know that 7 out of 9 from Star Trek is responsible in part for President Obama's election to presidency? I did not know about that. And
I'm sorry, what?
did you know that 7 of 9 from Star Trek is responsible in part for President Obama's election to presidency? Everyone loves to point to Star Trek and be like, the future, shaped by this 60s television show. You know, like, okay. Listen. Just because every nerd with an engineering degree saw Star Trek and wanted it. Nothing wrong with that. Let me see. Oh, a Star Trek actress changed the course of history. Oh, heck yeah. That's very cool. Hello. Hello. It's me, Dylan Cahill from Degrassi.
From Degrassi?
Please vote for Grimace as your next president.
Okay.
Man. Can I be honest? I kind of we're gonna touch on real world stuff real quick. I kind of like that we're in the part of history where it's all gotten so wacky it just won't work anymore. You know what I'm talking about? Juice, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Late stage capitalism?
No. Speaking of the House. It's
Oh.
just like no one can come to a decision on anything. It's gotten to the point where it's just like we not only are we not working, we can't decide how to start working. And I find that funny. I'm not even, because I don't know. If you had asked me before that, what the fuck does the Speaker of the House do? I'd be like, speak for the House. That's how I still feel about it, so. I'm not just like the most pressing issue that we're facing right now. the new mascot for Congress. I voted for Airbud because there is no rule saying a dog can't be elected to Congress. But yes. Juice, don't ruin this.
Okay.
Juice, why are you the fun police? Come on. Juice, why are you opposed to Airbud going to
Look,
Congress?
I'm not opposed. Please, it's just in middle school we got taught all the laws of Congress.
That's wild.
Look, man.
I don't know if I've said this on stream, but it's wild how much in school they were just like, America's great because we are just like, no one can hold power forever. And then one of the issues that's coming up a lot recently is everyone's holding power forever. And I'm just like, where the fuck were you on that middle school? Huh? I need my 5th grade teacher to come out of the woodwork and like drop kick some motherfuckers. Being like, due process! I taught children this. That would be great. Seeing Miss Frizzle drop kick a congressman. I'd pay to see that. That's probably why people like WWE, because they do that sometimes.
They dropkick former President George W. Bush?
I mean, they did like a whole thing, like with politics back in the day, where they portray were different people. I mean, literally Punch Out. I mean, I'm basically just about to describe Punch Out, and I'm not going to, because if you describe Punch Out to someone who doesn't know about Punch Out, there's gonna be issues. So, okay, so this character
doesn't know about Punch-Outs.
What?
Who do you think here doesn't know about Punch-Outs?
Well, I mean, I was saying in reference to WWE, and not only do I not think anyone here watches wrestling, I don't watch wrestling. I know vague information about it, so I'm not about to go in depth to explaining its connections to politics.
I watched quite a bit of wrestling growing up.
What's that?
I watched quite a bit of wrestling growing up.
Oh, you did? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Because I've heard it goes in eras. Do you remember what era you were watching?
No.
Oak? No.
No, I was a stupid piss baby, so like, I couldn't give you a name of the. I was watching it when I wasn't watching Dragon Ball Z.
No. So you were all in on just like, I don't need, fancy words here. I need I need the emotional storytelling. I want to feel it when these big men punch each other. I can get behind that.
I mean, I watched a couple more things than just those two, but
No,
sure.
you only ever watch those two things. Oak, you told me. You told me privately. It's like, Cahill, you keep referencing stuff on your stream, and I've only ever seen wrestling and Dragon Ball Z. And I was like, well, I can reference one of those. So, Piccolo. Existence of Piccolo.
Yep. I
Even
remember
King
that.
Piccolo?
You know what? I remember that conversation now when I spilled my heart out to you, and all you said was Piccolo.
You told me a lot of personal information about yourself, like some really buried, deep down stuff, and I said Piccolo. And you were just like, oh, you get it. And I was like, damn straight I do.
You get me.
You get
No.
me.
You get me. I mean, like, that's like one of the best responses you could have had. The best response would have been Mike the TV.
No, I don't know who that is. So, yeah, Piccolo is the best response
I
I
hope you
could
never
have.
find out.
You
I
know,
hope you never find
here's the thing, Oki. Occasionally, I remember that South Africa got a lot of Canadian TV,
Mm-hmm.
and that it warms my heart when I find out that another person on Earth has seen Reboot.
Oh, I've watched Reboot so much. I
Okay.
remember getting so mad every time YTV would restart the series because there were no new episodes, and then they'd just have to start from the beginning again.
Okay, but
Okay,
I know he's edgy, but Enzo becoming Matrix was the Shadow the Hedgehog of my era.
It's true. No, you're right.
think of what.
You're right. Before we had Shadow the Hedgehog, we had Enzo.
Yeah.
The thing for my era was Bakugan. That was one of the biggest twists of all time. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch
Oh
the
my
first
god,
season of
Cahill, you
Bakugan.
are so young.
You know,
I
you-
love Bakugan.
You go watch the first season of Bakugan right now, Pig, and you tell me that's not a twist, because it's a fucking twist.
I'm not saying it's bad.
Anyway,
I'm just saying we live in different universes.
anytime.
I'm just saying you're dating yourself and you're still warm off the press.
How old?
Damn.
I'm 24, Kingfisher, and also I was also gonna date myself by saying anytime anyone mentions reboot for whatever reason, all I can think of is the show I watched as a kid called Phil from the Future.
Oh, I love Phil from the Future.
Okay. Now I get to see, because I know Oki and I are vaguely similar in age.
Yes.
So I am going to say,
Vaguely similar. We're like less than a year apart.
yeah, I know, but also remember that in heart and soul I'm 17,000 years old. So
Everyone has to always remember this. is
That's
out
true.
there.
That's true. You predated like a lot of things. That's true.
like for example, the North Star, as we all
Yeah.
know. So
and charts.
and shark. No, never. You shut your mouth before you say you predate sharks. You blasphemous fuck.
So anyway, I'm going to say 4 words.
Okay.
Okay.
I
Okay.
want to know, Oki, if those words mean anything to you. And if they
This is
don't,
easy.
that's fine. Because those
Okay.
words don't mean anything to anybody but me. And I strongly suspect I just had some very vivid hallucinations over the course of several months as a child.
Sure,
That could be true.
Widget the World Watcher.
What the
No,
fuck?
okay, good. Hallucination confirmed.
Okay. fucking Mandela effect it yourself. All I can think of.
All right. It's my turn. No, it's my turn. I have
You
to
go-
say two.
yeah,
I have
you-
to say
you
two
go.
words to Pig,
Yeah.
because so that we can. Pig and I are attempting to connect on a deeper level here.
You go for it. I'm down for this.
I'm sorry about your hallucinations, but I'm going to say 2 words, and we're gonna see where it goes
Yeah.
from there. All right. My 2 words for you are Ned's New.
No. Interesting.
Pig, not
Okay.
only is it real, Kingfisher has confirmed it has 65 episodes, which is
Oh
not
my
a small amount of it, but because I love. So I was gonna talk about my own thing, which was gonna be Code Lyoko and I think Math Chasers. I forget that was on PBS.
Okay, go. Okay. I didn't see enough of it to actually pick up on the story.
But it's so wild because like there is something incredible. So if you've ever watched the McElroys, you might have heard them reference one thing, which is Turbo Teen, which was an animated TV show where when a teen ate spicy food, he would turn into a car. You've probably seen the GIF from it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and that ran for 13 episodes, and yet they still remember watching it on TV. And I think it was almost certainly rerun because that show looked like it was from the 1960s. So like,
It's from the 80s.
some people have very specific childhood memories of yes, that thing from when I was a child. Cyber Chase, yes, Cyber Chase. I watched that. That Cyber Chase and Code Lyoko were like 2 shows where it's like I don't know how to actually watch these on television, so whenever I manage to stumble upon them, I must see as much as possible. So
So like, this group talked about Code Lyoko a lot, so I found it on Netflix, and I tried to watch the first episode. I tried, but like,
it's not for everyone.
I got like 6 headbutt through my screen
I was about to mention
in the first
because I feel like
in the first few seconds.
I feel like the knee jerk.
You mean the fact that all of the characters' eyes are roughly where their mouths should be?
Listen, I have no problem with this stylization, but I do also want to say I feel like the easy thing to be like is like, oh, the 3D animation is dated. It's like, well, the 2D animation is also dated, and by dated, I mean it never looked right to begin with. Like, it doesn't look bad, but it fucking why does anyone look the way they do actually? Well, what the fuck is going on with Odd actually? Because he might be. I mean, I know his name is Odd, but first off, why is his name that? And second off, he's just weird. Did Odd have a widow's peak in that show? He fucking might have. I'm looking it up.
There's no way. Oh my god, he did.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's what I thought. I fucking thought. Yeah, he has a widow. that this 13-year-old has a widow's peak and is a cat boy. And I'm into it, okay? So
What a world! What a world to live in, to be a 13-year-old child with a widow's peak, like a
Yeah.
deep widow's peak, like.
Is this like Vegeta Widow's Peak?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that's why I thought
Yeah.
about it because I was like, he does have Vegeta hair, and they were in like a boarding school, so he's like middle school, high school age with this Vegeta hair going on. But anyway, I think the 3D animation actually kind of holds up just because it gives like.
Not for me, Kingfisher. I'm sorry.
And I did not. The puzzle. No,
It's
sorry.
a puzzle place.
A place where you do puzzles. I was gonna say that like, you know, it gets the point across. Like other shows do it, and honestly, I don't. In what I feel is like almost less authentic ways. It's just like, oh, we're in the computer world. Honestly, them completely switching animation styles, I would argue, is more impactful than The Matrix turning the camera green. But one of those is considered a masterpiece, and most people don't even know about the other fucking thing. So
Okay. Okay, I think this is one where we will both have seen it.
Okay.
And not only that, when I say these 4 words,
Mm-hmm.
you will immediately, unintentionally, it will be completely Pavlovian, and you won't do it out loud probably, but you will immediately begin singing the theme song. You can't help yourself. The 4 words are Denver the Last Dinosaur.
Why would you think I've seen that?
damn,
I'm sorry, you haven't seen it.
they took a big swing, and Oki just
You
shut
took
it
a
down.
huge swing.
And you just-
You like struck out
Wow.
in one ball, my guy.
I did.
Juice, I do want to say
Wow, no, I thought that was like a universal thing for people my age.
wicked not.
You
Mm-mm.
turn around and shot the ump in the dick.
Juice, I do want to say 3 words to you, and I do want to see if they have any impact on you at all. Which is of course Yin Yang Yo. So.
Oh my god, yeah. I remember that shit.
Okay, wait. This is more specific, and I remember the plot of this one better. So now I want to see if you remember this, which is of course also Jackie Chan Adventures. So.
Of course I do.
Okay.
I never watched it, but when I was older, it was broadcast on TV and stuff.
That was how I knew
So-
Jackie. I've never seen a Jackie Chan film. I'm a massive fan of his, and that series. That's how I knew he existed. So
Oh.
yeah. Also, can I be honest about? I'm gonna be vulnerable here.
So you've been lying this whole time?
No,
Yes.
I'm gonna no. But I've been safe. I've been safe this whole time.
Oh.
Do you want to hear me get? Want to hear me get fucking dangerous right now?
Yeah.
Darkwing Duck, Let's Get Dangerous.
No, I actually did not-
Everybody's seen that one, right?
No, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I actually didn't even
What?
get to see DuckTales growing up. I missed it. So.
Okay, but you're at least aware.
Yeah, I did see Rescue Rangers and Goof Troop though. I for some reason I like not only did I not see DuckTales, like I never saw it on they were never like next up is DuckTales. Like I didn't see that. But anyway, of course Shaolin Showdown. Every fucking Shaolin Showdown. Like I wish that had become like Pokemon levels because I would have bought all that merch. Anyway, there were. Like, I would watch a lot of Jackie Chan Adventures, right? And there were some things, like when I was a kid, especially with autism, look at that autism coming back in play. Like, there were some phrases I only ever heard Jackie Chan say, because it was a fucking TV show, so he had catchphrases. And, like, you know, what was I thinking of? And I would just be like, oh, that must be a thing people say, right? Here's a problem. When I went to say them, thank God it was around my mother. I did it trying to imitate his accent unknowingly. Yeah.
It'd be like that though.
She was like, "Hey, don't do that," and I was like, "Okay, I don't get why, but I trust you because I was literally like 4. I was literally 4, so I was like, I didn't even know he had an accent. I just thought he was saying like words like that, and I was like, okay.
Those were just the sounds funny man on TV made.
Exactly. And like I think was he the only one in that show that had an accent at all? Because like
Yes.
his niece was like specific, like she was raised in America and stuff like that. So oh god, oh no, yeah, listen. So with some like a lot of kids have done stuff like that. I think where they're just like, I don't know, like I'm literally just trying to do this one thing I saw. I don't realize why or how it is problematic. So, but again, props to my mom. Like my mom's a good mom. She stopped me from being accidentally racist around a lot of people. So that's very good of her. Good times.
I would like
Grandpa
to say
definitely had
words.
You'd like to say words? Please say a word.
Hip Hop Harry.
I think I remember Onsta referencing that, but I don't think I watched it myself. Let me see if it's.
Then I know what the demographic
Oh my lord!
was.
Yeah.
What
So
do you and Oatster have in common, I wonder?
Stop!
We both
So
live in
big.
Japan. Oh my
Stop
god.
Stop it!
Uh,
Got it out. Not on the stream.
So Pig. I looked up Denver the Last Dinosaur. It aired in the 80s. That's too early for me.
okay, so
I was still like well pre-nut in the 80s while you were still
mean-
like, you know.
to be fair, so was I for the vast majority of the 80s. So it must have been like, I guess,
It could be reruns.
yeah. South Africa also got a lot of stuff really late.
I mean,
Okay.
that's just them being rude to South Africa, if I'm being honest. So how could they?
Like, why would they do that?
I know.
Yeah.
honestly.
Here have a bunch of like really old 80s cartoons. Oh,
I'm trying to
hey,
think.
Canada, here's Big Comfy Couch.
I feel, the thing. I mean, okay, Juice was like, "Here's a thing that apparently a lot of black people know," and I was like, "Oh no," because it was like, I don't know that at all, and that feels bad. But you know what I did grow up with was Static Shock, because I was trying to think of reruns, and I thought of Batman Beyond, and Static Shock was
I've
part
never
of that.
seen it, but
Actually,
after I
pretty cool.
watched Static on Death Battle, I was like, show good.
I don't.
Perhaps
Oh,
watch.
good.
I don't know if he was one of like those things where like this is why I'm always just like, if you've watched the DC animated universe, like you know DC, fuck it, that's as good as it's gotten for a while now. But like Harley Quinn was specifically from the cartoons. Like her appearing in the cartoons was like her first appearance ever, and then they're like, okay, I guess she's in the comics now. I don't know if Static was like that, because like he made his way onto like Young Justice and everything. But I don't know if like his cartoon show was his first appearance, or if they or if it was, adapted from older material. But I love me a Static Shock. It was cool. Static had a run in like the 80s. I mean, that's the thing, because Young Justice, I think pretty directly, was also like a 90s comic, and that wasn't even adapted when I was growing up. That was just fucking like they just they adapted that 30 years after the comic run. So yeah, I mean, I appreciated some older cartoons when I was growing up, because a lot there is still a good amount of cell shading, cell animation happening when I was growing up, and I'm grateful for it. I think I've talked on stream before about the Pokemon movies being like one of the biggest inspirations for me to want to start animating. I adore those things. Hey, if anyone knows where I can get like a copy of like, I don't know, the first 5 or 6 Pokemon movies as a collection, please let me know. I want that. I'd like that.
May I refer you to The High Seas?
No, yeah, big, but I want like fucking, I want physical copies. So
You want the fucking VHSs?
yeah, yes,
Yeah.
actually, yes.
You're talking. Yeah, you gotta remember who you're talking to.
Right.
The person who wants the ancient Egyptian copy of Super Mario Land.
Wait, do you actually want that? Oak, are you looking for an old copy of Super Mario Land or no?
No, because I fucking pirate things that I want to play.
Oh well. Yeah, well, I like to have them in physical form, so that way Reggie Fils-Aimé can't come to my can't shut it down from his office. So
Why is it Reggie Fils-Aimé?
because he went from being their CEO to their undercover
Being
agent.
their hitman.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah. Nintendo, don't make me come over there.
Exactly. Like it's not that I don't like pirating. It's more so it's just like I don't like the easiest, like maybe not the cheapest, but the easiest way to know that I will always have this is if I fucking have it. If it's in a place where I can stop them from taking it from me. I have VHSs of Star Wars on my shelf right now, which I found and I kept because I tried to watch New Hope on Disney Plus. Fucking Han Solo's head PNG scoots to the left as Greedo shoots him because they had to edit that for some reason. Like that's where I completely understand Harrison Ford, because like I don't like him not liking Star Wars, but if they had fucked the movie that hard because some nerds online were just like, who shot first? Like it matters. No one cares. Then I would also be like,
but also like it suits his character that he shot first.
oh my lord, Pig, I'm going to suplex you. You made it happen. Pig was there. Pig posted the post that made George Lucas say, okay guys, we're actually gonna recut every new version of the movie to be released in the next couple of years. So get on that.
He was the coward.
He is a coward. I just packed like 200 video games today. Heck yeah. I mean, I was going through it last night. Oh my goodness. Who? Who and how?
Thank you for being one of the few people who understands that, Kingfisher.
Who shot a hand? Because this is a Western. Listen, it'd be fine if they didn't have to re-edit every cut of the... Because then it's lost media, and we just did this with Spider-Verse. We just did this. There's the blood of animators on all of your hands right now, because like people are like, oh yeah, there's 2 cuts of the movies out and not both of them will be released on Blu-ray. And it's like, why? What? Excuse me? Just like the most minor detail to one of the most influential films of all time. So there's a lot more we can fix about Star Wars before we start worrying about who shot first in the cantina. So I'm sorry to ruin everyone's fun. I know I'm the
Oh my
worst.
god, my fun is ruined.
Also, thank you for the 100
I'm having
bits.
less fun by the second.
My fun. Also, that's the credit I'll give Max. I like Sonic, and the first Sonic game I ever played and had for a while was Sonic 06, and I didn't know. I knew nothing about it. I was a full-on in high school before I knew anything about Sonic 06. So that's just, you grow up with the media you're given. I feel like that's what I always say, is people will be like, oh my gosh, how did you not know about that? Because I was like, if my parents didn't bring it to me or it wasn't randomly on television, I didn't know it existed. Not only did he shoot first, he was in the right to do so, because that's how you do things in self-defense. Listen. You're saying that, but consider that Hans's balls are so fucking huge that he was just like, Greedo sucks so much, I'm going to let him shoot, he's going to miss, and then I'll kill him. I am so confident that this fucking nerf herder is about to miss me with his gun point blank, that I'm gonna let him do it, and then I'll kill him afterwards. So... Listen, are you all valid? Yes, but do I want them to have to recut the movie a million times in order to make that have always been the truth? No.
You don't want to see a PNG slide?
This is what I'm saying. And here's the thing, I wouldn't even be taught, like, if they did this and everyone's like, yes, that's so much better, then I wouldn't care, right? Like, it'd be whatever. But they did it, and I noticed it happening as I was trying to watch the film again, and I was just like, this is actively a detriment to me trying to watch one of the biggest films of all time. So, you know what? Maybe we don't actually care that much. If the solution is have Han slide in his seat across the fucking... Also, I realize I don't even know. Does that cut make it so that he had shot first?
No.
Okay.
It makes him the noble one who responds in.
Oh, okay. So we are literally arguing on the same side, and
Yes.
I have. Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't realize because I brought up them cutting it, and y'all were just like, "Yeah, he should have shot first," and I was just like, "I do whatever makes them edit the film less, please." So I'm sorry. I apologize.
You did not know.
I did not. I
Tis
did not
fine.
realize. Because that's the thing. That's the thing. That's what I'm not focusing on that when I'm watching New Hope on Disney Plus now. I'm focusing on the PNG of Han Solo sliding across the wall. I wasn't even thinking about what you guys were saying. George Lucas has destroyed my ability to enjoy media he created. And now Dave Filoni has to come rescue him. Dave, help. You made a beloved character, Dave. I'm begging you. Make them like me again.
But then he doesn't.
And then he does. He's just like, I'm focusing so hard. I love how, I rated Gam one night, and he was talking about Ahsoka, actually, and he was just like, it's basically Rebels Season 5. And honestly, of all the, like, criticisms I've heard about the different Star Wars shows, that one will actually stand completely by. Because I'm like, no, listen, Dave tried to get his Rebels OCs out there and get everyone to love them, and no one did. And now that he's kind of taken over Star Wars entirely, he's giving everyone a second chance to do it. He's like, you guys are going to appreciate them whether you like it or not. And I'm like, you know what, Dave? Pop off. And do it. Han shooting second means he doesn't have a character arc. Oh, yeah. No, you're valid. No, again, Kingfisher, you're completely valid. I mean, you don't even have to justify this to me. I actively like Luffy because he's kind of a shitty person. Luffy is always doing the right things, but his own way, because he doesn't give a shit. He's just like, I think I would like to do this. Whether or not it is right, inconsequential. And Han is kind of that way, to a degree. He's doing what he wants. So... If him shooting first is in line with that, then I'm just like, yeah, I already liked Han Solo. You don't have to convince me. I think the only time I won't like Han Solo, is like, for example, in Battlefront, he's one of the heroes that you can get. And like, I'm sorry, Han is just a dude, you know? Like, it's one thing when you're a Jedi and you have superpowers and a laser sword, but Han just has a normal gun, and he's a great pilot. Yeah, if it comes to starfighting, then that's different. But I would say, of the characters present in the original trilogy, Han is the one I'd least like to be besides me in a ground fight. So I'd be like, my guy. That's it.
I've been meaning to.
What's that?
Sorry, I've been meaning to tell you, Cahill, that I've really been enjoying Luffy as a character more in Dressrosa.
Oh, that's good. I think you're really enjoying Milano in that case, because, like, I feel like it only steps up. Because, I mean, I get what you're saying. Heck, that's why I like Vivi. Because, I mean, like, I always like Luffy, but Vivi was just like, listen, Luffy, I love you, but if you're gonna be a leader, you gotta think a little... you have to think a little more than not at all, you know? Do
Right.
something.
And then he never did.
And he never
No, he
did.
does.
Although I will say, like, the first thing that surprised me, and it shouldn't have surprised me, but it did because it's Luffy, that he sat there and he listened to Rebecca's backstory without falling asleep.
Listen, I have
Well,
no
he
problem.
was eating.
That's part of it. Oak, is I don't have a problem with that because Luffy is like, I don't need the details. You're already my buddy, my pal, my amigo. So you want me to beat up a guy? Let's do it, my guy. Let's do it. So he's like, I don't need an essay for you to convince me to overthrow a dictator. I'm already doing it. And I'm with that.
Yeah, and I enjoyed the conversation. with Frankie, where he's like, I can't go with Law's plan. We gotta fuck this man up.
Yeah.
Fuck him up.
Fuck him up. And then Luffy's like, you know what? You're right, homie.
Frankie, I feel like of all the characters to join the Straw Hats, Frankie is the one who almost has to like justify his existence and relationship with others the least. He is just everyone's bro, and it's perfect, and I love him. He's great. So, also I saw a thing about someone being like, you know, there's not really that much tension between like Frankie and Usopp, in spite of the fact that, you know, Frankie's crew beat the shit out of Usopp. And I was like, you're right, but also Frankie went out of his way to make a mini Mary for Usopp. So yeah, I think the beef is squashed. He not only did he make an entire other ship, he remade the one that meant everything to Usopp, because he spent time with Usopp, hearing about the Going Merry, and recognized how much Usopp loved that ship and cared for it. So yeah, I think they're good now, actually.
Yeah.
So.
And then the ship was, to my knowledge, not ever used by Usopp.
That might be true. I don't know. I will say, you're first. No, wait, because wasn't literally them using? No, that was on Thriller Bark. I'm thinking of Punk Hazard. Because it's like he went ashore on Punk Hazard, and I was like, that. I don't think they used the mini Mary on that one. But also, him and Frankie just do engineer shit together. So again, I think everything is all good now. So it's chill. One Piece is good. I
mean, like, there's still like the giant chasm of character, but the difference between those two.
Of what?
Like Frankie went to the toy factory and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna cause the biggest ruckus possible.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna beat everybody up. And then Usopp's been spending the entire time in Dressrosa like, I'm gonna piss my pants. How do I get out of here?
Listen. I mean, I can kind of get it in Dressrosa specifically, but I still stand by the fact of like, you would be lucky to beat Usopp if you were in the One Piece universe, you know? Like, he is just like, I am almost certainly going to die here. Because everyone around me has superpowers, and I have a slingshot. I need to...
I haven't watched that far, but I did grow to like Usopp, because yeah. In a world of superpowered people, he's just a kid.
Yes.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. It's just like, I was wondering if there would ever be a narrative arc where he just comes to realize that despite this way of thinking, he's been in the Grand Line for several years at this point and hasn't even come close to actually dying.
Fucking
Well,
there's a couple times where Usopp is like, for lack of a better word, paralyzed because he's been beaten hard enough. It's just that Luffy is reliable enough that he tends to come through and make sure that they're not able to kill. And fucking, you're not at the end of Dressrosa, because I was about to say like, he gets into some trouble, you know. I mean, that's not a shock because it's the Straw Hats, and literally, I think part of what One Piece does so well above other shonen is like every character kind of gets their moment.
The only enthusiasm he had going into this plan was the idea of beating up the child again.
Listen, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're at the birdcage?
No,
Okay.
no, I haven't fully gotten there yet.
Gotcha. That's fine. That's not me saying birdcage. Is not just like, no, Cahill, you solved the puzzle for Oak. They know what the One Piece
No,
is.
it's like, you could talk. I don't. You know, I don't care too much about spoilers.
Yeah,
Again, I have seen a significant number of clips from Wano.
listen, that's my favorite thing in all anime, and I will not back down on that. But I'm also not gonna spoil it for friends because I'm like,
Right, like I have seen a good deal of a major Wano fight just through clips alone.
yeah, but that's because it looks good. So
It's because it looks good.
But I'm also not. But here's the thing: looks are only part of it. Like, there's a whole narrative like element and surprise to it, where I'm just like, I don't want to ruin that for
sure.
people. So anyway, I'm gonna raid now. Well, let's find someone to raid. Yeah. Listen, I get it, because like I have both experience and heard about people be like, you're forcing this media upon me. But also, I feel like It's what I've said many times, where One Piece I feel like kind of gets blended in amidst your classic shonen like Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, yada yada yada, and I'm just like, actually, I've read it now, and not only do I think it's not like any of those things, I think it's one of the best things I've ever read, and that's what I'm trying to stress. I'm just like, I'm not comparing it to these things. I think it's its own unique beast, and I love it. I want to read how long has Bath and Jam been live? Because I do like me a Bath. We can rate Bath. Let's rate a Bath. Thanks y'all for coming. I'm gonna be doing what was I thinking of? Metroid Prime tomorrow. I hope to see y'all there. Consider checking out the VODs actually, because I know not as many people have been at Metroid Prime, and that's fine. But if you're like, I care about the story, Cahill, I have VODs. You can see those. You can watch, what I've done on Talon 4 thus far. So, regardless, I hope you have a splendid week, and I'll see you.
I like
later.
Metroid Prime. I am very excited for the sequels to get remastered.
I'm not sure they will, but if they, they might. Okay, the thing I was thinking about is someone was doubting it because, like, someone phrased it as they're gonna release 2 and 3 and then 4 will come out, and it'd be like, no, like 4 will come out eventually. It's just
if it's anything like Mario RPGs, they're gonna remaster 1 and 3.
Oh no. Anyway, I appreciate you. I'll see you later. Bye.